welcome back to my channel. I'm Jordan. I had VSG on September 9th, 2019, and today I'm going to be sharing some questions I've been getting in my DMs, just wanting to know, and just share these things with you guys. So one of them was, did I ever deal with sugar cravings? And before VSG, that was a huge thing for me. I had PCOS, and with that comes insulin resistance and all of those things. So being insulin resistant too, the cravings and all the hormone issues that you have when you have PCOS is, for me, I had almost like pregnancy cravings for sugar, and it was all the time. And so really through that process, I really had to rely on God renewing my mind, reminding me all day long, 24/7, that I was more than food. I was meant for more, that I'm not controlled by cravings and all of those things, and that is not who I am. So I've definitely dealt with the sugar cravings. Now, the things that I also did in the natural was I would just drink like an entire bottle of water. And the cravings still didn't go away after 15 minutes of drinking that. I would go on a walk. I would work out. I would do something to get my mind off of the craving I was having. And then sometimes it was just inevitable, and I gave in and I ate, and I probably had way too much anyways. Obviously I did. That's why I had to have weight loss surgery. But the sugar cravings also, if you're dealing with it now in your post-op VSG, I didn't really deal with it post-op VSG, but that's because before surgery I had already eliminated that from my diet. And then once surgery happened, it was just like game time. I knew that the first 2 years were very important. Now, I have had cravings, of course, but if I stay hydrated, I've noticed that I don't have near as many as I would if I wasn't hydrated. So water plays a huge role in that. Feeding our bodies nutrition, like nutrient-dense foods, veggies and fruit and nuts and grains and protein, those things, really getting our bodies full on those kinds of foods rather than protein bars or a protein shake or something like that, really stops those cravings for me. And also not having too many artificial sweeteners. I've noticed if I have too many of those, I will have extremely rough and hard sugar cravings. So for sure, cutting out as many artificial sweeteners as you can will definitely help, and not having as many. And then the next question was, have I ever dealt with overeating? And prior to surgery, that was my life. I overate every single meal. Every meal, I will say this. With PCOS, you don't ever feel full. Like, your body is full, but you don't feel full, so you just keep eating. And that is what I did until I had surgery. I just ate and ate and ate, and that is why I was 63 pounds. And it was not easy. That was another thing that I had to grow in the Lord in, and really depend on Him and allowing Him to transform my mind. And the way that I did that was just constantly staying in prayer, constantly in my ears, the Word all the time. When I went to the gym, I had it playing in my ears. I had it playing in the car. I would listen to worship music. I would do whatever I could to have constant reminder of truth, real truth, not balance, right? So yeah, that was, overeating was a big deal. Now, post-op overeating, I've only done it like 1 or 2 times, and not on purpose. I started eating too fast, didn't realize it, and I was like, oh my gosh, you get that pain, like that squeezing type feeling from having surgery. And it is something you never want to do again. It immediately makes you sick. It is miserable. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. But I do want to just say, going on that journey with the Lord was not, it had to happen before I had my surgery. It had to happen for me. And it was a 5-year journey with him before I had surgery, of him teaching me discipline, self-discipline, denying myself, telling myself no, and in all areas of life. You know, you could plug all of that into, but it had to happen for me. And if it didn't happen for me, I don't think I would be where I'm at today with my surgery, because I still would have been depending on myself and my own wisdom and knowledge to get me through it. And for me, it was mandatory that I did that and went through that process with the Lord, just him purifying me over and over and over again, just refining me down, showing me all of those things about me, and allowing him to make those crooked things straight, to really deal with all of that for me. And it was very hard. It was a painful process, because once you start getting real with God, you have to get real with yourself, and then you can't just get by anymore on or how you used to. So it was definitely a journey in itself before I could even have weight loss surgery. I know that a lot of people might not deal with those kinds of things, but spiritually, if you're being fed every day, if you're going to the Word every day and you're feeding yourself what you need to hear, truth, instead of listening to what everybody is saying on social media, instead of constantly listening to the other voices around you about what you should do or shouldn't do, or all of those things, it is very hard to hear God if you don't fill yourself with him. And not saying we can't glean from each other, we definitely can, but there's a lot of negative too. And sometimes that's really hard, especially when you're dealing with obesity and other things, and people, the comparison game all the time. So while you're on your journey of getting fit and getting healthy and making these new lifestyle changes, just don't forget that when everything else is gone, what do you have to cling to? Because we will fail ourselves every day, but Jesus will never fail us, and we have to press into that. We have to stay in that place, a constant place of refreshing, a constant place of, yeah, this is really hard, and this is, I don't see the other side, but God does, and he has a plan for me, and he's not going to give up on me, and he's not going to leave me here. Those things is what will see you through to the end. I hope that you guys enjoyed these few questions I've been getting. Like, subscribe, follow me over on Instagram at jordan2_lee, and I will see you guys in the next video.